CR.
Sir,
Immunization schedule. Do you remember immunization schedule?
forgot, sir.
Huh?
మర్చిపోయా సార్.
మర్చిపోయావా? లైవ్ లో లేను కదా, ఏదైనా చెప్పొచ్చు అనుకుంటున్నావా? వస్తావుగా కాలేజ్కి, అప్పుడు అడుగుతా గట్టిగా. సో ద బేసిక్ immunization schedule you don't remember? According to what they divided, what there are two immunization schedules. Does anyone remember? Anyone who is online?
So there are two schedules. One is the National Immunization Schedule followed in India, and another one which is adopted by the Indian Association of Pediatrics.
Okay, fine. So what are the three vaccines that we give at birth?
BCG, OPV, and HPV.
HPV. Okay, what is HPV?
Hemophilus.
What? Hepatitis B
Hepatitis
vaccine.
B vaccine.
Hepatitis B virus, sorry.
Not virus, vaccine. Okay, and what is the route of administration? Do you remember OPV? I think I told you.
Oral route, sir.
It's oral vaccine.
Route. Okay, then BCG.
It's intradermal.
Where will you give? To the arm or leg or where?
Intradermal oral.
It's just a deltoid.
Arm deltoid. Okay, then hepatitis B.
Intramuscular route of administration.
Anterolateral aspect of the thigh, 0.5 ml, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, it's okay. Now we'll just finish off the topic, adverse effects following immunization. This is the only topic left in immunization, right?
No, sir. This is also done.
I think I stopped it in the midway, right?
Sir,
Okay, I'll just start this and finish up with this. I think the whole immunization will be covered, I think so. And immunization in special circumstances, did I cover?
no, sir.
Okay, just brief I tell you about this, and if time is left, that also I'll finish off. Okay. In special circumstances, in
Okay,
what
sir.
conditions you cannot give and all, I'll tell you. So basic adverse effects following immunization. So first one is the parental anxiety. Introduction is parental anxiety to adverse effects following vaccination in the children is immense, given the aeronautical situation of a healthy child suffering because of some meant for his well-being. So basic definition is a medical incident that takes place after immunization that causes concern and is believed to be caused by immunization. So first one is parental anxiety, which is not much related, and second one is the definition is a medical incident that takes place after immunization that causes concern and is believed to be caused by immunization. So basic classification of adverse effects following immunization is vaccine reaction, program error. I think I covered these types, right?
Yes, sir.
Vaccine
Yes,
reaction,
sir.
program error. I think
Yes,
we stopped
sir.
at the middle of this topic,
Yes,
so I'll
sir.
just tell you briefly. Okay. Vaccine reaction, program error,
Okay,
coincidental, injection reaction, and unknown. These are the five types of adverse effects following immunization. So vaccine reaction, basic definition and example I'll give you and finish off this. Vaccine reaction is an event caused or precipitated by the active component or one of the components of the vaccine. So basic example is anaphylaxis due to measles vaccine. So basic definition of vaccine reaction is an event caused or precipitated by the active component or one of the components of the vaccine. And the basic example is anaphylaxis due to measles vaccine. And second one is program error. An event caused by an error in vaccine preparation, handling, or administration. So this is very important. Program error, an event caused by an error in vaccine preparation, the handling of the vaccine, and administration of the vaccine. So that is why you should know about the route of administration for every vaccine. That is very important. And basic example is bacterial abscess due to unsterile injection. Means an unsterile means you can using of multiple these injections and all to all people and all, it may cause bacterial abscess and all. And then coincidental, an event that occurs after immunization but not at all caused by the vaccine. This is just a chance association. So this is just a coincidental. It is not at all caused by the vaccine. Example is gastroenteritis after DPT. And next is injection reaction. That may be from the anxiety or pain from the injection itself rather than vaccine. So syncopal attack that mostly takes place in the teenage people. And the other thing is unknown. So first one is because of the components of the vaccine, which is known as vaccine reaction. Second one is the program error. that is because of the preparation, handling, or administration, then it is coincidental, that is not at all caused by the vaccine. And the next one is the injection reaction, that is only because of the anxiety or pain from the injection. And another thing is cause can't be determined. So vaccine reaction is two types. There will be common minor reactions and rare serious reactions. So common minor reactions are local is pain, swelling, redness at the injection sites, and systemic is fever, vomitings, malaise, and normal immune response to a vaccine. And rare are very rare. In fact, they are very rare. Death, hospitalizations, or prolongation of hospitalization, persistent or significant disability or incapacity of or life threatening. This is very rare. You don't need to remember. Only the common minor reactions are local and systemic. Local is pain and swelling and redness, and systemic is fever, vomiting, and malaise. Second one is the program errors. So this, I already told you, these results from the vaccine administration, preparation, and handling, and most common causes are of serious adverse effects and death following vaccine. These are the most common causes of deaths. These are preventable. Then the infection can manifest as local, systemic, and bloodborne. Local are the suppression and abscess may happen. Systemic is sepsis and toxic shock syndrome, and bloodborne virus means HIV, hepatitis B, and hepatitis C vaccines. Virus, sorry, this is virus. So the infection can manifest as local reaction, systemic, and bloodborne. So next one is program errors. A cluster of adverse effects following immunization is defined as two or more cases of the same adverse event related in time, place, or vaccine administered. These clusters are associated with a particular provider or health facility, or even a single vial of vaccine inappropriately prepared or contaminated. This is program error. Program errors leading to adverse effects are because of use of non-sterile injection, reuse of disposable syringes or needles, improperly sterilized syringes, contaminated vaccines, reuse of constituted vaccine at subsequent sessions. So once you reconstitute the vaccine, it should be used only for once. So local suppression and injection site, systemic infection, sepsis, toxic shock syndrome, and transmission of bloodborne infections like hepatitis HIV, hepatitis B, and hepatitis C. So second one is vaccine administered at improper sites. So subcutaneous instead of intradermal, that is BCG. Instead of giving the intradermal, if you give subcutaneous, that will be a vaccine administered at improper site and improper administration. Hepatitis B and anti-rabies vaccine given on gluteal region. I told you already, I think I told you in the last class, no injection should be given in the pediatric age group in the gluteal region. DPT-like vaccine not given by deep IM route, BCG adenitis, ineffective vaccine or poor immunological response, local reactions like induration and nodule formation. So the third one is the incorrectly prepared vaccine. So vaccine is not at all incorrectly prepared, was reconstituted with incorrect diluent, drug substituted for vaccine or diluent, effects of drugs like insulin, muscle relaxant, etc., contraindication ignored, avoidable vaccine reactions, incorrect storage and transportation of vaccine, that is very important, which does not take place everywhere, incorrect storage and transportation of vaccine, ineffectiveness of vaccine, and increased local reactions from frozen vaccines. So coincidental is just out of anxiety, sudden infant death syndrome, and acute gastroenteritis 5 days after DPT. So injection reaction is also from the anxiety or pain, syncopal attack, especially in the adolescent girls. Unknown, I already told you, and presentation and management. Did I cover this? Presentation and management? Anyone there?
Yes, sir.
Did I cover this presentation
Yes,
and
sir.
management? Okay, fine.
Yes, sir, you did.
Okay, I'll then skip this.
Sir,
Reporting and
Sir,
surveillance. Yeah. Yeah.
sir, you covered only that up to the 8th point seizures, not the entire thing.
Yeah, that is what I was
Up to
asking.
the 8th point seizures. Up to seizures, sir.
So this I'll tell in brief, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So anaphylactic, so presentation and management of adverse effects following immunization. First one is anaphylactic reactions may occur from any vaccines. So exaggerated acute allergic reaction characterized by one or more. First is bronchospasm. So how will that present is wheezing and breathlessness, shortness of breath, laryngospasm or laryngeal edema, cutaneous is hives, facial or general edema. This occurs within 2 hours of vaccination, self-limiting, and the only treatment is antihistamines may be useful, and less severe reactions do not need to be reported. So basic is the treatment will be antihistamines will be useful, and these does not need to be reported. So next one is anaphylaxis. It may occur with any vaccine. So clinical symptoms are urticaria, hives, wheezing, facial edema, laryngospasm, difficulty in breathing, hypotension, and shock. This occurs within 1 hour post-vaccination, and precautions are all children post-vaccinated should be observed for 15 to 30 minutes at your place, and resuscitative equipment and emergency drugs should be kept, like adrenaline injection should be there, steroid should be loaded, and antihistamine should be immediately given. So any vaccine that comes up to your clinic or your hospital, they should post-vaccination, they should be kept under observation minimum to 15 to 30 minutes, and then the emergency drugs like adrenaline injection, antihistamines, and steroids should be ready with you. And third one is disseminated BCG infection. Immunocompromised children, widespread infection within 1 to 12 months after BCG vaccination, confirmed by isolation of mycobacterium, and treatment is in ATT, including rifampicin and isoniazid. So encephalopathy, acute onset with any two of the following: seizures, severe alteration in level of consciousness lasting for 1 day or more, distinct changes in behavior for more than 24 hours. So examples are measles 7 to 12 days, pertussis within 48 hours, no specific treatment, only supportive care. Encephalopathy means seizures, severe alteration in the level of consciousness, and distinct changes in behaviors for more than 24 hours. So there is no specific treatment, only supportive care. So fever, it is very common: mild fever, high fever, and extreme fever. It is common for all vaccines. Symptoms are just symptom treatments: paracetamol, extra IV fluids, and tepid sponging. IV fluids are oral fluids, and tepid sponging. Toxic shock syndrome, it occurs with all injectable vaccines. Abrupt onset of fever, vomitings, and watery diarrhea within a few hours of immunization, often leading to death within 24 hours to 48 hours. It compulsorily need to be reported, and treat early with IV antibiotics and IV fluids. And the other presentation is vaccine-associated paralytic poliomyelitis. It acute onset of flaccid paralysis within 4 to 30 days of the vaccine of OPV, or within 4 to 75 days after contact with the vaccine recipient. The basic symptoms are neurological symptoms, remaining 60 days after onset, and death, and no specific treatment, only the symptomatic and supportive care should be given. So this is very rare. Paralytic poliomyelitis, it occurs within 4 to 30 days of the OPV or with the contact with the vaccine recipient, and mostly neurological symptoms and death, and there is no specific treatment for this. And I think seizures, I think I stopped with seizures, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one of the clinical presentation of adverse effects following immunization is seizures. Generalized convulsions that are not accompanied by focal neurological signs or symptoms. So these seizures may occur with two types: febrile and afebrile. Febrile means if temperature is more than 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit, or afebrile seizures if temperature is normal. All vaccines, it may occur with all vaccines, especially with pertussis and measles, and it is self-limiting. It is supportive care should be given, paracetamol and tepid sponging if it is febrile, and rarely if it is afebrile, or rarely anticonvulsants. So there may be two types of seizures: febrile, afebrile. If it is febrile seizures, supportive care, paracetamol and tepid sponging. Afebrile, and rarely, if it is afebrile, rarely anticonvulsants may be required. And next one is injection site abscess. Fluctuant or fluid-filled lesion at injection site. Bacterial if evidence of bacterial if evidence of infection. Purulent, fever, or inflammatory signs. Sterile abscess if no evidence of bacterial infection due to inherent properties of vaccine. It may occur with any injectable vaccines. Treatment is incision and drainage, and antibiotics if bacterial. So bacterial means he'll have fever, he'll be dull, inflammatory signs. Sterile means these all won't be there. And treatment is incision and drainage, and antibiotics if bacterial. It may occur with all injectable vaccines. Okay? This is injection site abscess, the seizures, and next one is injection site abscess. Is anyone noting down, or just I can go to the other slide?
Noting, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, really? You don't do it in the class itself, you're doing here. So next symptom may be lymphadenitis. At least one lymph node enlarged to more than 1.5 centimeters in size or draining sinus over the lymph node, almost exclusively caused by BCG. Mainly caused by BCG vaccine, occurring within 2 to 6 months after recipient of BCG vaccine on the same side as inoculation, mostly axillary. Heals spontaneously over months and best not to treat unless and lesion is sticking to skin. If skin infiltration is there or already draining, surgical drainage is done. Systemic treatment with ATT is ineffective. So lymphadenitis. So lymphadenitis, at least one lymph node enlarged to 1.5 centimeters. It may be mostly caused by BCG vaccine, occurring on the same side and mostly axillary. It is the best not to treat it unless lesion is sticking to the skin. It automatically heals over months, and if skin infiltration is there or already draining, surgical drainage is done, and systemic treatment with anti-tuberculosis drugs is ineffective. So this is one of the presenting feature, lymphadenitis. And next one is osteitis or osteomyelitis. It is the inflammation of the bone with isolation of BCG strain. Treatment is ATT, including ATT means anti-tubercular drugs, including isoniazid and rifampicin. Osteitis or osteomyelitis, it is mostly because of the BCG strain, and treatment is ATT, including isoniazid and rifampicin. And the other symptom is sepsis. Acute onset of severe generalized illness due to bacterial infection and confirmed by blood culture. Needs to be reported as possible indicator of program error. It may occur with all injectable vaccines, treatment early with IV antibiotics and IV fluids. Excuse me. Acute onset of this, mainly sepsis means it is acute onset of severe generalized illness due to bacterial infection, and it should be confirmed by blood culture, and it needs to be reported as possible indicator of program errors. What are the clinical symptoms? Is fever may be there, mainly fever, high grade fever will be there. Baby will be dull and he may also go into shock. It may mostly occur with all injectable vaccines, and treatment is with IV antibiotics and IV fluids, and this need to be reported as the program error. And the other one is persistent inconsolable screaming. This inconsolable continuous cry for 3 years or longer, accompanied by high-pitched screaming. It may occur with DPT and pertussis. It may settle within a day, and analgesics means painkillers may be helpful. Persistent inconsolable crying. Inconsolable continuous cry for 3 years or longer, accompanied by high-pitched screaming. Examples of DPT and pertussis, it generally settles within a day, and most common maybe it may which may be useful is analgesics, that is painkillers may be helpful. Then other one is severe local reactions. It is mainly because of the injectable vaccines, that is also mostly intramuscular route of administration. Redness or swelling at the site of injection and one or more of the following. Swelling beyond the nearest joint, pain, redness and swelling of more than 3 days duration requires hospitalization. It is common with all injectable vaccines, that is mostly intramuscular route of administration, and the treatment is only the symptomatic treatment, and all painkillers may be helpful. So other one is severe local reactions, redness or swelling at the site of injection, and one or more of the following. So first one is redness or swelling at the site of injection, and other thing is swelling beyond the nearest joint, or pain, redness and swelling of more than 3 days duration requires hospitalization. It is common with all injectable vaccines, mostly intramuscular route of administration, and the symptomatic treatment, and with analgesics, that is with the painkillers. So next, these are the symptoms. So briefly, I'm telling you once again, the symptoms which may be present with the adverse effects following immunizations is anaphylactic reactions, anaphylaxis, BCG, encephalopathy, fever, toxic shock syndrome, paralytic poliomyelitis, seizures, injection site abscess, lymphadenitis, osteoarthritis or osteomyelitis, sepsis, persistent inconsolable cry, and severe local reactions. So these are the basic symptoms, and the last one is adverse effects following immunization, reporting and surveillance. Serious adverse effects of following immunization is death, hospitalization or prolongation of existing hospitalization that may occur, I already told you, because of encephalopathy, seizures or aseptic meningitis, persistent or significant disability or incapacity, that is paralysis, poliomyelitis, and life-threatening. Seizures adverse effects following immunization which must be reported is death, hospitalization or prolongation of existing hospitalization like seizures, meningitis or encephalopathy, and persistent or significant disability or incapacity like paralysis, poliomyelitis, and life-threatening. So vaccine safety terminology, a cluster of adverse effects following immunization is 2 or more cases of the same adverse event related in time, place, or vaccine administered. I already told you this. Aggregation of relatively uncommon events or diseases in space or time in frequency that are believed or perceived to be greater than or could be expected by chance. So this should be reported. So if immunization error is suspected, like bacterial abscess, severe local reaction, high fever, significant events of unexplained cause occurring within 30 days after vaccination, events causing parental or community concern, these require a special attention. I think this, you cannot see this. So adverse effects following immunization, case selection for reporting, serious adverse effects following immunization. There may be potential immunization error, parental concern, community concern, unexpected frequency, unexpected relationship with vaccination. These all should be reported compulsorily. Cases to be reported is serious adverse following immunization, severe and minor. So any adverse effects following immunization that is of concern to be paid to the parents or to the healthcare workers should be notified. Serious in particular, health workers should notify all this. Serious adverse effects following immunizations like death, hospitalization, disability, signals and events associated with a newly introduced vaccine. So any vaccine that is newly introduced, that also should be reported. Without anything that is because of that vaccine also should be reported. And adverse effects following immunization that may have been caused by an immunization error, that is route of administration or storage or handling, any of that also should be reported. Significant events of unexplained cause occurring within 30 days of a vaccination. Events causing significant parental or community concern, swelling, redness, soreness at the injection site, if it lasts for more than 3 days. All these should be notified and informed. Especially the healthcare workers should report to this. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yes, sir. We can hear
I think
you.
this is finished. I think this is all SPM type. I think this you can see in SPM reporting and all. So adverse effects following immunization is finished. Should I go on with special case vaccination, special scenarios, or next class I'll continue with it? Anyone there?
Okay, sir.
Next class I'll finish up the immunization. Only the special circumstances where you need to give vaccination and all. Next class I'll finish it. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. I think that is the only
Okay,
thing that
sir.
is immunization for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Okay, sir. Bye.